Did you know there are over 1 million words in the English language?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a very big number. A million words.
Right. And if you try to learn every single word, well, it will take your whole life.
Oh, definitely.
But, here is the secret. We have good news for you. To survive your first conversation, you only need a few dozen words.
Just a few.
Exactly. You do not need a million words. You just need the right tools. So, welcome. But before we begin our big conversation today, I need to tell you something important.
Yes, very important.
This is a special podcast broadcast on the Talk Ladder channel. And the Talk Ladder channel makes this show just for you.
That is right.
Its purpose is to help beginners practice their English. We speak slowly. We speak clearly. And, we use simple words because we want you to practice listening to A1 and A2 level English.
We want to help you every week.
Yeah. So please take a second to subscribe to the Talk Ladder channel. We would really love that. Thank you so much.
Yes, please subscribe. It is a wonderful community, and we are very happy to see you today.
We really are. So I want you to imagine we are at a nice party.
Oh, I love parties.
Me too. So you just walk through the door, you have a drink in your hand, maybe some coffee or tea, and you walk over to us.
And we are standing in a circle, and we smile at you.
Right. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the absolute essentials of the English language. We have a big stack of sources on our table.
We have vocabulary lists and grammar guides.
Yeah, and we have phrase books from ESL experts and Cambridge English. Our mission today is to look at all this data.
We are going to find the most important nuggets of knowledge.
Exactly. We will pull out the exact words you need to survive in everyday English conversations.
Learning a new language is a big job. English is very complex. You look at a dictionary and you see thousands of pages.
It is so scary.
It is easy to feel scared, but you do not need to feel scared. Our data shows exactly which words you need first.
That's the best part.
Yeah. Today, we will break the language into small, simple pieces. We will treat you like the intelligent adult you are. You already know how to talk and think. You just need new English tools to share your thoughts.
I really love that. You already have the thoughts. We will just give you the words.
Exactly.
So you just walked up to us at this party. The music is playing. We want to talk to you. The very first thing we need to do is say hello.
Say hello and introduce ourselves.
But English has many ways to say hello. Sometimes it is confusing.
It can be very confusing, but the most important rule is understanding the difference between formal greetings and informal greetings.
Right.
This is the first thing you must learn. Formal means serious and polite. Informal means, well, relaxed and casual.
Let me give you an analogy to make this very clear. Think about the clothes you wear.
Oh, that is a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So saying hi or hey is like wearing a t-shirt and comfortable blue jeans.
Very casual.
Right. You wear a t-shirt with your friends. You wear jeans with your family. You use hi and hey with people you know well.
Yeah, but good evening is different.
Very different. Good evening is like wearing a nice expensive suit or, a beautiful formal dress.
Yes.
You wear a suit to a serious job. You wear a formal dress when you meet a very important person.
That is a very helpful analogy. I mean, you do not wear a t-shirt to a formal business meeting.
No way.
And you do not say hey to the president of a company.
Definitely not.
If you meet your friend at a coffee shop, you say hi because you are wearing your language t-shirt.
I love that language t-shirt.
But if you walk into a bank or a big business meeting, you wear your language suit, you say hello, or, well, you use the time of day.
Right.
The time of day is very important for formal greetings.
Yes. The sources talk about the time of day a lot. Let's explain this clearly. If the sun is coming up and it is morning time, what do we say?
Before 12 p.m., you say good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is a very common formal greeting. When the clock hits 12 p.m., the morning is over. Then, from 12 p.m. until around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., you say good afternoon.
Okay, and after 6 p.m., when the sun goes down and it gets dark outside.
Well, after the sun goes down, you say good evening.
Okay.
You can use good evening at a nice dinner or at a formal party like the one we're at right now.
Okay, so we said good evening to you. We were wearing our nice language clothes. Now we want to know more about you. We just met you.
Oh.
What are the essential questions we ask?
Our sources give us 3 key questions. If you know these 3 questions, you can start a conversation with anyone in the world.
Wow, okay. What are they?
First, what's your name? Second, where are you from? And third, what do you do?
Let's look closely at the first one. What's your name? How do you answer this?
Well, you can say, my name is, and then you say your name.
Right. Or you can make it shorter. You can just say, I am, for example, I am your host.
Both are perfect. Then we ask the second question, where are you from?
Yeah, people usually answer this with their country or their city, right?
Exactly. You say, I am from, for example, I am from London, or I am from Turkey, or I am from Japan. It tells the person about your home.
I always like to ask the third question because it tells me about a person's life. What do you do?
Yes.
But this question can confuse beginners. It does not mean, what are you doing right now?
Oh, no.
It means, what is your job?
Yeah.
Or what is your daily work?
Yes, that is a very common mistake. What do you do is always about your job.
So how do you answer it?
You answer this by saying, I am for example, I am a teacher, or I am a student, I am a doctor. You just put your job at the end of the sentence.
Okay, so we ask the questions, and you answer them. You tell us your name, your country, and your job. After we hear your answers, we need to show that we are happy.
We want to be polite.
Yeah, so we use a very important phrase. We smile, we shake your hand, and we say, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you is a wonderful phrase. It works in almost every situation.
It really does.
You can use it in a t-shirt or in a suit. If you want to be extremely formal, you can say pleased to meet you, but nice to meet you is the best tool for your box.
Okay, so now that we know each other, we need to make small talk.
Small talk.
Yeah, small talk is the friendly conversation you have before you talk about deep, serious things.
Yeah.
You ask about the person's day. Our sources show common questions like, how are you? Or how's it going? Or what's up?
This is a very good time to look at a pedagogical insight from the CEFR analysis source.
Oh.
It talks about something called lexical chunks.
Lexical chunks. That sounds like a very difficult academic term. What does it mean for a beginner who is just trying to speak at a party?
It sounds difficult, but, well, the idea is simple and brilliant. Think about a brick. You build a house with bricks.
Right.
In language, words are like bricks, and grammar is the cement. Usually when you speak, you take one word, you take some grammar cement, and you take another word.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of time. Your brain works very hard to build the sentence.
Yes, because you have to think, what is the subject? What is the verb? Does the verb have an S at the end? It is exhausting.
Exactly.
But a lexical chunk is a big pre-made block. It is already built. You do not need to use the cement.
Oh, I see.
You do not need to think about the grammar. You just memorize the whole phrase, like it is one big word. How are you?
Yeah.
Is a lexical chunk. You just learn it as one piece.
Oh, I understand now. I do not have to think, how is the question word and are is the verb and you is the pronoun.
Yeah.
I just smile and say, how are you, all together.
Yes.
That saves so much brain energy.
Yeah, and the standard responses are also lexical chunks. When someone asks, how are you? You do not need to invent a new sentence.
You just use another pre-made block.
Exactly. You say, I'm doing well, thanks, or
Yeah.
I'm fine, thank you. You just memorize these blocks. It makes your communication much faster. You sound more natural.
That is such a great trick. You just collect these blocks in your memory.
Yeah.
Okay, let's imagine we talked for a while. Now, you need to go home. The party is ending for you. How do we say goodbye?
We have a few simple choices here, too. Goodbye is the standard way. It is a little formal.
What about informal?
Bye is shorter and informal. You use it with friends.
What if I know I will see you tomorrow?
Then you can say, see you later, or see you tomorrow. And my favorite way to end a friendly conversation is to say, take care.
Take care. I really like that one. It means you want the person to be safe and healthy. It is very warm.
It is.
But wait, you cannot leave the party yet. We just started.
That's right.
Once you have introduced yourself and made small talk, you naturally want to tell the person a little bit about your life or your day. You want to tell a story.
Yes, tell a story.
But you cannot just speak in tiny broken pieces. You cannot just say, I am happy, I ate food, I am tired. You need something to stick those small ideas together.
You need glue. In grammar, this glue is called a conjunction. Conjunctions are incredibly important. They make your English sound smooth and connected.
Right. And today, we will focus on the big 5 conjunctions. They are
Yeah.
and, but, or, so, because.
The big
Yeah, these 5 words are very small, but they're the most powerful tools for a beginner. Let's look at how they work. We will start with and.
Okay, and is a connecting word. We use and to put similar ideas together. It adds information.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Look at this data from the Apatwist LMS source. We have 2 facts. Ollie is 12, Emil is 12. These facts are similar, so we use our glue. Ollie is 12 and Emil is 12.
Oh, that is easy. Or think about a daily routine. Ahmet usually practices the guitar. That is one action. He plays basketball after school. That is another action.
So I stick them together.
Right. Ahmet usually practices the guitar and plays basketball after school. It's very simple. We just add things together. Now, what about but?
But is different and connects similar things, but connects opposite things. We use but to show a contrast or a surprise or a difference.
Here is a good example from our sources.
Yeah.
I love oranges, but my boyfriend loves apples.
Right.
Oranges and apples are different. I like one thing, he likes another thing. Because they are different, we use but.
Yes, exactly.
Let me give you another example about the weather. It is very hot today, but it was really cold yesterday. Hot and cold are opposites. So, but is the perfect glue.
Very true. The third word in our big five is or. We use or when there is a choice. You have options and you must pick one.
Think about a restaurant. The waiter comes to your table. He asks, would you like some tea or coffee?
You cannot have both.
Right. You have to choose tea or coffee. Another example is sports. Do you prefer football or basketball? You pick one or gives you a choice.
Next is so. We use so to show a result. First, a situation happens. Then there's a result because of that situation.
Let's build a sentence with so. Situation, I'm hungry. Result,
Yeah.
I'll prepare some food.
Okay.
We stick them together. I'm hungry, so I will prepare some food. The first part makes the second part happen.
Yes. Let's do one more. Situation, the weather is rainy. Result, we can't go to the picnic.
Oh.
Yeah, so we put them together. The weather is rainy, so we can't go to the picnic.
Okay, finally we have the word because. We use because to give a reason. It answers the question, why?
Yes. For example, she didn't go to work yesterday because she was sick.
If I ask you, why didn't you go to work? You give me the reason.
Yeah.
Because she was sick.
Exactly.
But I have a big question for you. When I was in school, my old English teacher was very strict. She told me it was a big mistake to start a sentence with the word because or the word but. She said it was wrong. Was she right?
Oh, that is a very common question, and many beginners worry about this.
Yeah, I worried about it.
Well, your teacher was talking about strict academic writing. In a formal essay or a university paper, grammar books sometimes say no. But remember, we are at a party.
Oh, right.
We are having a conversation. In natural spoken English, starting a sentence with because is completely normal.
Wait, really? So I will not sound stupid if I do it.
Not at all. People do it every single day. If I ask you, why are you wearing a heavy coat inside the house? You can just answer, because I am cold. You do not need a long, perfect academic sentence. You do not need to say, I am wearing a heavy coat inside the house because I am cold. That is too long for a party. Communication is the goal.
That makes me feel much better.
Yeah.
The goal is to share your thoughts. If people understand you, you are doing a great job. So we have our glue. We can build longer sentences and tell stories.
Yes.
But when you tell a story, you need to give details. You need to tell people exactly where things are, and you need to tell them exactly when things happen. For this, we need prepositions.
Prepositions. Ugh, these tiny words can cause big problems for people learning English.
You really can. I read something crazy in our Berlitz source. English has over 250 prepositions.
250.
That is a massive number. How can a beginner remember 250 prepositions?
The truth is, even native English speakers do not realize they use so many. You do not need to learn 250 today.
Oh, thank goodness.
We just need to focus on the most important ones. Prepositions are small words, but they do a very important job.
I like to use an analogy here. A preposition is like a GPS map on your phone.
Okay.
When you look at a map, it tells you exactly where you are. Prepositions tell you exactly where a noun is located. Let's look at the map for places first. Let's talk about in, on, and at.
Let's break down this map. First, we have in. We use in when something is completely inside something else. Think of a box. The object is inside the walls of the box.
Like the shoes are in the box.
Exactly. Or I'm in the kitchen, you are inside the room.
Okay, in means inside. Next on our map is on. We use on for a flat surface. Something is resting on top of something else. It is touching the surface.
I left your backpack on the chair.
Yes, the backpack is resting on the flat part of the chair. Or the picture is on the wall. The wall is a flat surface.
Then we have at. At is used for a very specific location. It is a precise point on your GPS map. It is not inside, it is not on the surface, it is just a dot on the map.
Oh,
I will meet you at the airport, or I'm standing at the door.
What about under or underneath? These are very common. They mean below something.
Yeah, the source gives a great example. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard?
Oh, like the street is on top and the tunnel is below it.
Yes. Or think about a house. Our garage is underneath our house. You park your car below the living room.
We also use between. Between means in the middle of two things.
Right.
Imagine you are on an airplane. I don't want to sit between two strangers on the plane.
Oh, that is the worst.
It is. There is a person on your left side. There's a person on your right side. You are stuck in the middle. You are between them.
Okay, so that map is for places. But here's the part that confuses everyone. We use the exact same words, in, on, at for time.
I know. We use place words to talk about time. This is very hard for my brain to understand. Can you explain the rules for time?
Yes, it is confusing because time is invisible. But we can use a similar map. Imagine time is a group of boxes.
Okay, box.
We have a huge box, a medium box, and a tiny point. We use in for the huge box. Long periods of time, months, years, and seasons.
For example, my birthday is in October. October is a long month, so it is the big box. Or I started my new job in 2023. A year is a very long time, so we use in.
Exactly. Now, we move to a smaller box, a medium box. We use on for specific days and dates. On is always used for the days of the week.
Okay, so my dad arrives on Sunday.
Yes. Or the big party is on May 1st. A day is smaller than a month, so we use on.
Okay, in is for big months. On is for medium days. What about at?
At is the tiny point. It is a precise, exact time on the clock. We're meeting at 8 o'clock, or the train leaves at 3:15. It is exactly that minute.
Oh, wow, that makes perfect sense. Visualizing the boxes really helps. In is the big box of the month. On is the smaller box of the day. At is the exact dot on the clock. That is a fantastic GPS for time.
It helps a lot.
But before we move on, the sources mention another strange word. They talk about postpositions. What is a postposition?
Let's look at the word preposition. Pre means before. A preposition goes before the noun, in the house, but a postposition goes after the noun. Post means after.
Oh, I see.
English has a few of these, but the most important one for beginners is the word ago.
Ago. A-G-O. Yes, we use that to talk about the past.
Exactly. You measure the time and you put the word ago at the end. It tells us how far back in the past an event happened. I met her 10 years ago.
Right.
You do not say ago 10 years. You say 10 years ago.
That is very useful. Like, we started this deep dive 20 minutes ago.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we have our sentence clue, and we have our GPS coordinates for time and place. Now, we want to add color to our story. We want to add rich details. We need adverbs and thematic vocabulary.
Conjunctions build the structure. Prepositions give the location. But adverbs give the sentence life. Adverbs describe how we do things or how often we do things.
The ESL Lounge list gives us a great group of adverbs called adverbs of frequency.
Frequency means how many times you do an action.
Let's look at 4 big adverbs. Always, usually, sometimes, and never.
To understand these, think of a percentage scale from 0 to 100. Let's start at the top. Always is 100%. You do the action every single time. There are no exceptions.
Like, I always brush my teeth in the morning.
Perfect. Now let's go down to maybe 80%. Most of the time, but not every time. That is usually.
So I usually get up at 7 o'clock. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I get up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But on Saturday, I sleep late.
Exactly. So it is usually, not always.
Let's go down to 50%. Yes, half the time, no. That is sometimes.
I sometimes walk to work. If the weather is sunny and beautiful, I walk. But if it is raining and cold, I take the bus. Sometimes I walk.
And finally, we go to 0%. You do not do the action at all. That is never. I never drink coffee. It makes my stomach hurt. I only drink tea. So always, usually, sometimes, never. Using these words makes your stories much more interesting. People learn your habits.
We also use adverbs for simple directions. Words like here and there, please wait here, here means in this place, close to me.
And if I point my finger across the room, I say, look, there is a cat. There means in that place, far away from me.
Yes. We also have words for houses with stairs. Upstairs and downstairs. Imagine a house with 2 floors. Let's go upstairs to watch TV.
That means we walk up the steps to the top floor.
Yes. And I left my shoes downstairs. That means the shoes are on the bottom floor.
These little adverbs add so much detail. Now let's talk about the big words, the nouns. the things in the world.
Oh, vocabulary.
Yeah, I have to push back here. Our sources show that there are thousands of nouns in English. Should a beginner just take a huge dictionary, open it to the letter A, and start reading all the way to the letter Z?
No, absolutely not. That is a terrible way to learn.
Why?
Your brain will get very tired, you will feel bored, and you will forget everything in one day. The CEFR analysis source tells us something fascinating about how the human brain learns language. The brain does not like random lists. The brain likes themes.
What exactly is a theme?
A theme is a group of words that belong to the same topic. They share the same idea. Think of your brain like a big closet.
A closet, okay.
If you just throw all your clothes in the closet, it is a mess. You cannot find your socks. But if you put all your shirts together and all your pants together, it is organized. Learning in themes organizes your brain. The words stick together in a network.
Okay, so what are some good themes for a beginner to start with?
The best themes are about your daily life. One of the most important themes is family. You should learn all the family words at the same time. Mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle.
Why is that a good theme?
Because when you talk to someone at a party, you usually talk about your family. I have one brother and two sisters.
Yeah.
If you learn them together, you can tell a full story.
That makes sense. Another great theme is food.
Everyone loves food.
Exactly. Apple, banana, bread, cheese, chicken, water. If you learn these words together, you can easily describe your breakfast or your dinner. You can go to his supermarket and know what to buy.
Another excellent theme is the home. Bedroom, kitchen, window, door, table, bed. You can practice these words right now. Look around the room you are in, point at the window and say window, point at the door and say door.
Oh, that is smart. Learning by theme connects the English language to your real physical life.
Yes.
So throw away the dictionary, pick a theme, learn 10 words, and practice them in your house. Okay, my friend, the party is coming to an end. It is time to leave the party and go out into the real world.
The real world.
You are going to travel, you're going to go to shops, you will talk to strangers, so we need to give you real-world survival skills.
These are the phrases that will save you when you are in a new city. They're the most important tools in your box.
Let's start with a very common situation.
Yeah.
You are hungry, you go to a restaurant, you sit down and you look at the menu. The waiter comes to your table, he asks what you want. What do you say?
From our source, a perfect phrase is, I'd like to order the chicken sandwich, please.
Let's look at that phrase. I'd like to is short for I would like to. It is a very polite way to say I want. If you just say I want chicken, sounds a little rude. I'd like to is much softer and more polite.
You can also use the phrase can we. When you walk into the restaurant and talk to the host, you ask, can we get a table for two, please?
And when you finish eating your delicious chicken sandwich, you are ready to pay the money. You look at the waiter and say, could you bring the bill, please?
The bill is the small piece of paper that tells you how much money you owe the restaurant.
These are excellent phrases. But what happens if you have a big problem? What happens if you experience a language barrier?
A language barrier is a difficult situation. It happens when two people cannot communicate because they do not speak the same language well. It happens to everyone who travels.
I want to share a quick story. One time, I was traveling in Japan. I went to a small restaurant. The waiter spoke very fast. I did not understand anything.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I was embarrassed. I did not want to look stupid. So I just smiled and nodded my head. I said, yes, yes.
What happened?
He brought me a plate of extremely spicy food. My mouth was on fire. I could not eat it. I was hungry, and I wasted my money.
Oh, my goodness.
I learned a big lesson that day. It is 100% okay to not understand everything. You do not need to be embarrassed. Even native speakers ask people to repeat things. You just need to know how to ask for help.
That is a great story and a very common mistake. Here are the tools to use when you hit a language barrier. First, you need to get a person's attention politely. You say, excuse me.
Excuse me is magic. If you are lost on the street, you find a kind person and say, excuse me. Then you can ask a very direct question. Do you speak my language? For example, excuse me, do you speak Spanish? Or, excuse me, do you speak Turkish?
And if they do not speak your language, and they speak English too fast, you must not smile and nod like you did in Japan.
No.
You must use this magic phrase. I don't understand. Can you repeat that?
Let's repeat that for our listeners. I don't understand. Can you repeat that?
Can you repeat that? Means can you say the words again? It is a signal. It tells the other person that they are speaking too fast. They will usually slow down and use simpler words to help you.
And if you have a really big problem, like you lost your passport or you are very lost, you can say, can you please help me with this problem? People are usually very kind. If you ask politely, they will try to help you.
And that brings us to our final and most important point: courtesy and politeness. Courtesy is how we show respect to other people. In English, you must use the words please, thank you, and I'm sorry very often.
Yes. Add please to the end of your questions. Say thank you when someone opens a door or helps you. And say I'm sorry if you make a mistake or if you bump into someone on the train.
Right.
But you mentioned a secret weapon earlier in our deep dive. You said the word could is a secret weapon. Why?
Well, could is a wonderful word. It is a more polite, softer version of the word can. If you are hot and you say to a stranger, "Can you open the window?" It is okay. It is not bad. But if you say, "Could you please open the window?" it changes the feeling completely.
Why does it change the feeling? What is the science behind it?
In grammar, could creates a little bit of distance. It makes the question softer. It feels like you are giving the other person a choice. Can you open the window sounds a little bit like a command, like a boss talking to a worker.
Ah, I see.
But could you open the window sounds like a request. It shows deep respect.
That is fascinating. So when you talk to strangers or people working at a shop or a hotel, using could you makes you sound incredibly friendly and respectful. Could you help me find the train? Could you bring the bill? It is a fantastic habit to start.
Yes, could you is a tool you will use every day.
Well, my friend, look at the time. The party is over and our deep dive is coming to an end. We have covered so much ground today. You're ready to go out into the world.
We really have. We explored the most important tools for a beginner.
Let's do a quick summary of what we learned today. First, we learned how to break the ice. We learned the difference between formal suits and informal t-shirts. We learned how to say hello based on the time of day and how to introduce ourselves using 3 key questions.
We also learned about lexical chunks. We learned that memorizing blocks of words like "how are you" saves brain energy and makes speaking much faster.
Then we learned about the glue of conversation. We learned how to stick our ideas together with the big 5 conjunctions: and, but, or, so, because. And we learned it is okay to start a spoken sentence with because.
Next, we turned on our grammar GPS. We visualized big boxes, medium boxes, and tiny points to understand prepositions of time and place: in, on, and at.
We added beautiful color to our sentences with frequency adverbs like always, usually, sometimes, and never. And we learned that studying vocabulary and themes like family or food is the best way to build a network in the brain. Throw away the dictionary.
And finally, we packed our bags with real-world survival skills. We learned polite phrases for ordering food at a restaurant. We learned how to ask for help when we hit a language barrier. And we learned the secret weapon of politeness. Could you?
Learning English is a long, amazing journey. You should feel very, very proud of yourself for practicing today. You're doing a great job.
I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. Think about how a single tiny English word can completely change an action. Let's look at the word up.
Okay, up.
It is so small. It is just 2 letters, U and P. But look at the magic it has. If you put it with look, you can look up at the blue sky.
Right.
If you put it with wake, you wake up in the morning to start your day. But if you put it with give, it means you quit. You give up when you were tired.
Wow. Look up, wake up, give up. 3 completely different ideas controlled by one tiny word.
Exactly. Pay attention to those little words. They hold the real magic and power of the English language.
That is a beautiful thought. Look up at the sky, wake up every morning with a smile, but never, ever give up on learning English. You can do it. Next time you have a conversation, try to use some of the glue words we talked about today. And, but, or so, because. Thank you so much for coming to our party today and doing this deep dive with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the Talk Ladder channel so we can keep practicing together every week. Take care of yourself, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and keep practicing.